Hello and welcome to the Brew4U show, sponsored by the Beer Loons. Do you have everything you need for the home brewer on your holiday shopping list? Check out beerloons.com for more holiday gift giving ideas. Hello everyone, I am your host, Mike Campbell, and welcome to Brew4U. Today our beer review is going to be from New Glarus Brewing Company and the New Glarus Cran-bic Ale. Keep in touch with everything craft beer by following us on Twitter and Facebook. Go to beerloons.com for all the ways to connect with us. Let's give you a little background on the New Glarus Cran-bic Ale before we do the review here. New Glarus is from New Glarus, Wisconsin. This is a lambic, in this case fruit lambic, because of the cranberry. The special thing with this is they age the beer for 5 months of what they call outdoor resting in oak barrels. You don't want to serve this beer at 45 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and the proper glass would be something like a flute, tulip, snifter, or what they call a strange. So let's go ahead and get into the beer review here for you, and for those of you watching, you may see this little kind of brown and gray thing popping up from time to time, and that would be our latest addition in the Beer Loons family. That is Barley, who just conveniently is popping her head up right in front of the camera right now. So, back to the review. This beer pours into the glass with a bright red, kind of a bright red or kind of pinkish color, kind of like a dark rosé color, with a white head that's really quick fading, bigger bubble, kind of like a soda fizz almost. In the aroma, you definitely notice the cranberry, and the oak is very strong. It comes through very strong, and of course the sourness like a lambic would have. If you've never had a lambic, lambics are sour beers. In this case, it's a sour fruit beer. There's many examples. This one happens to be cranberry. Real popular is strawberry as well. Cherry is popular. So there's a couple different fruits that are sometimes used, but basically these are beers allowed to sour. Taste-wise, you notice a quick, sweet twang to the beer is about the only way to put it. It reminds me of like a cherry pie filling, where you get kind of the sweetness first, but then you get the tartness after that. In this case, you get a little extra tartness because of the cranberry. You know, the thing is, I don't notice a whole lot of the oak necessarily in the flavor. It's definitely as much as you notice it in the aroma, but you know that it's there. Don't worry so much about malt and hops with this style. It's pretty unusual to pick them up because the fruit and the sourness kind of takes over the whole thing. But what we're really kind of focusing on is, you know, how sweet are we looking at? Are we overly over the top sweet? Are we undersweet? Whatever. And I think this one's very nice, very well done. It's got a very nice sweetness to it that I like, because lambic should have some sweetness to it. There's not a lot of super dry ones out there, just based on the brewing process. They kind of be malty beers that sour, and then they add the fruit later on, typically to, in a way, kind of back sweeten in a sense, but it sours as well. Some of that's also caused by the yeast that's used. This is traditionally a bacteria that's introduced to allow to sour the beers in America and in today's brewing. Yesteryear, a lot of times this may be something that the brewers would allow the bacteria in the air to kind of let it do its thing. So, body-wise, it's kind of a... it's pretty close to a medium body, I would say. It's not super thick, but it's fairly close to medium body. And I'm going to go with the beer's balance because there's really not about hops and malt in this one. It's more about kind of the tartness. And I like the kind of sweet tart type of thing going on. I really do enjoy lambics. I think this is a very good one. Hop-wise, there are traditionally hops used. A lot of times they may be older hops because they're not that noticeable. I'll give it a 1 out of 10 just because there are hops in there somewhere. Or at least traditionally there are. Overall rating, this is one of my more favorite beers. I love this New Glarus Cran-bic Ale. I wish I could get it all the time. Seeing it's only in Wisconsin, I'm in Minnesota, bit of a trick that way. I'm going to rate this beer a 92 out of 100, one of the highest scores I've given because I really think it's done very well. Nice balance in it. It tastes like a lambic should, or lambic, however you want to pronounce it, and is just an excellent beer all the way around. I think a very well done beer for a style that's not done very much. So that's going to do it for this week's show. Appreciate you listening. Don't forget about the Brewing Today podcast show that we do as well. And that's going to do it. Cheers.